It's your boy Crypto Blood, and welcome back to the channel. Do me a favor before we get started, smack that like button and punch that subscribe button if you haven't already. Welcome to another episode of My Two Cents, a series I'm bringing back to CBTV that covers all pretty much non-crypto related news that you should be aware of for today. If you're interested in my crypto related content, please look out for My Two Satoshis recorded live Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays every week. Bring you something new. That's not like most other crypto analysts out here. We're not talking about what's the next 10x, 100x coin, but more so giving you the tools you need to connect the dots and make long-term gains for yourself. In today's episode, we are going to look at, would you believe it? You probably do. Over the weekend, this is how they normally do it. They close down on Friday and do their whole bank restructuring on the weekends. That is their script. That is their pattern. So we're not surprised there. But what you may be surprised at is JP Morgan taking over First Republic. Now, this is the biggest bank collapse since 2008. And if you think this is all over, you've got things mistaken. We got word from Jamie Dimon today saying this part of the crisis is over. Yeah, this part, but that doesn't mean this is the worst part. Okay. You got to listen to what these people say, read between the lines if you want to say. So we're going to take a look at that out of CNBC and really analyze why we're not seeing gold, silver, even the cryptos not pop. VIX is down 1.3% today, and you got the stock market slightly up at this point of recording. So what is really going on? I'm going to give you my analysis, give you my 2 cents on everything. But first, let's take a look at what the FDIC had to say via a tweet earlier today. As you guys see, to protect depositors, we entered an agreement with JP Morgan Chase Bank to purchase and assume all deposits and assets of First Republic Bank. And what do you know? One of the reasons they might be out of business is because if you look at their site, at least they had this on their site, First Republic Bank. They said here, we will not lend to fossil fuel companies or other businesses operating in environmentally sensitive industries. Oh, ESG. Oh, we got another ESG bank going down. Essentially, SVB was very similar to that. They had that same philosophy. So it's interesting to see. Now, before this, JP Morgan had amassed about 10% of all nationwide deposits. Is this the plan? Are they really secretly looking to make JP Morgan one of the only banks left in the country? It's possible, or maybe it's just unintended consequences from what the Federal Reserve has done, trying to increase rates and get things back to normal, which we know they could never do. Let me know in the comments below if you think we are going to see another 25 basis point rate hike. I think we are, because if they even stop, we're going to see another increase in inflation. So I can't see us stopping here or even pivoting. Pivoting would be even worse. So it would really undo everything they've tried to do in the last year and a half. And by the way, just to let you guys know, First Republic is the second largest bank failure in U.S. history. I'm going to repeat that. Second largest bank failure in U.S. history. You telling me that this is all over, you got to be smoking something. Let's take a look at what Chase said on their Twitter page. First Republic Bank is now a part of JP Morgan Chase. JP Morgan Chase to protect all deposits, insured and uninsured, bringing its financial strength, capabilities, and capital to the U.S. banking system and First Republic. Now, here's my question here, because we know that First Republic is yet another bank of the 1%, just like SVB, where you had 90% of the deposits above $250,000. We know that is not the 99%. That is not a regular Joe Six-Pack bank. Neither was First Republic. So they're bailing out all of these banks. But my question is, are they going to bring the same energy when it comes to the smaller regional or even smaller local banks? Are they going to bail out all insured and uninsured, meaning above 250? Are they going to bail those people out? Are they going to save them as well? If we get to that point, which I think we're heading to, it's going to be very interesting to see how they handle this, because I think they might not. And that should cause people to wake up to see that this game is rigged against the 99%. So they stepped in, they meaning Chase, to take the brunt of the load, because we all know the FDIC is bankrupt. They can't keep doing this. So what is it going to be? Chase just going around gobbling up every small bank, even though First Republic was not a small bank. When it comes to the smaller banks, what are they going to do? We're heading toward a consolidation of banks, just like they have in Canada. Canada has maybe 5 or 6 banks, and that's it. It goes on to say here, I'm going to zoom in. JP Morgan Chase will post an investor presentation with additional deal details on its investor relations website at approximately 7 a.m. ET on Monday. Host a media call at 8 a.m. and an analysis and investor call at 8:30 a.m. So I don't think Chase is in trouble, but that is the problem. People know that Chase is not in trouble. So guess what they're going to do? They're going to continue as these smaller banks fold. People are going to start thinking about, wait a minute, they may do the first 2 or 3, but at that very point that either JP Morgan doesn't step up or the FDIC doesn't fully cover uninsured deposits above 250, the very first time they do that, it will be a massive bank run in the United States and will cause all capital, a very large chunk of it, to flee to banks like Chase and Bank of America and so on and so forth. The top 3 banks in America. Money will flow quickly to those banks once the first event occurs where depositors above 250 aren't safe. You may be asking, what's going on with gold? I'm not a fan of gold anymore. Ever since crypto came on the scene, I have not touched gold or silver. I still have the silver and gold that I bought, but I haven't accumulated any in 10 years. Why? Because I think that's a dated game. Peter Schiffs of the world are going to continue to tell you for the next 20 years that gold is going to go above $2,000, and we're going to do it, and we're going to do it, and everything is going to be fine, and all the countries are going to use gold as the new currency. It's not going to happen, guys. We're in a new day and age. Gold is not going anywhere. Not saying it is. It will definitely be there as some store of wealth or hedge against inflation, but it will not pair well or do well as a hedge against deflation, which I think many people have misconceptions about and they're wrong about. And this is the same thing that goes with Bitcoin. As you guys can see, Bitcoin. And, I just want to touch on this really quickly because I'm a firm believer in cryptos, but I've told you guys, you have to have the timing correct. Bitcoin and cryptos are going to get slaughtered greatly before they move higher. And this is an example, as you guys see here, another bank crisis, the second largest bank failure in history, and yet Bitcoin has not moved higher. The reason is because it is a ultra risk on asset. So when shit hits the fan, you're going to see Bitcoin and the crypto markets get hit harder than even the equity markets, but the rebound will be much, much better than any other asset class out there. So you just got to make sure you're timing this move correctly. So this is the article out of CNBC. Let's take a look at their angle with this whole situation. JP Morgan acquire all First Republic's deposits and a substantial quote unquote majority of assets. The acquisition came after regulators took possession of First Republic, resulting in the third failure of an American bank since March. I'm sorry, you cannot tell me this is all over. The second biggest failure ever and all the systematic risk is gone. I just don't think so. Yes, they probably stopped the bleeding with First Republic, but the psyche of the American depositor hasn't changed. It's actually made it worse. They're in a more negative stance than ever. So you better believe with interest rates where they are, people are going to continually withdraw their funds and start buying bonds. And as deposits drop, because these banks are in a position where they can't increase interest rates offered to their customers, they're in a pickle. They're going to have to continue to offer low interest rate products to their customers because they can't offer anything higher than 1% or even less. Now, why would I keep my money at a bank, especially a smaller bank above $250,000? Why would I keep my money there when I could buy treasuries really easily? Public.com, I think, is one site. Treasury Direct, I think, is another. I can easily buy treasuries right now, risk-free, and yield 4% or higher. It's a no-brainer. And that is what is happening here, guys. This is where we are with things. I think this is only the tip of the iceberg. Yes, they may have stopped the bleeding with First Republic, but now the blood is going to move to another area of the body and seek an exit. It just is what it is, guys. As we reach a probability of 67% that we will have a US recession, yields are all inverted. It's written in. It is written in. And so with this compounding, a recession and banking crisis, look out below for your risk on assets, especially crypto. They're going to get hit hard. They're going to get hit very hard first before you see any move up, which I think may be in 2025 or late 2024. You may start to see it move back up in equities and cryptos, because you guys know you got to have a good stock market for old Sleepy Joe. Got to have a great stock market going into the presidential elections in 2024. So look, you know they're going to rig it. They're going to pump it up. Plunge protection team is going to be firing on all 4 cylinders. So you better believe and know that the stock market is going to head higher, and most likely cryptos as well by that point. That's my 2 cents. So just giving you guys an update on the second largest bank failure ever, the biggest since 2008. Let me know your comments in the section below. What do you think? Is this just the beginning, or has JP Morgan saved the day and mitigated any more risk that we're going to see? And when do you think cryptos are going to boom? Is it around the time frame that my thesis lines up with leading into the presidential election, or do you see it rallying before then? Let me know in the comments below. And are you holding gold and silver? Is that your play? Why isn't gold and silver performing right now? Please, somebody out there who is a gold bug, help me understand what's going on, because I'm just as confused as Sleepy Joe right now. I'm just saying. That's my 2 cents. Biggest bank failure since 08. Let me know your comments in the section below. I'm out of here.